I'm Cindy with Wisconsin Voices for Recovery, and this is Speak Out on Stigma. Today, we'll be hearing from Kimberly from Tellurian. Hi, Kimberly, how are you today?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. How about you?
Great, great. I'm good.
Good.
So tell me, how does stigma harm people seeking or in recovery?
Sure. Stigma in general harms people. It's such a negative light on anything, recovery, from mental health, from addiction, no matter what it is. Um, but I feel like for how it can really harm people is it causes shame, it causes guilt, you know, feeling judged rather than like understanding. It keeps the cycle of addiction going. And then also, just a little bit about like the mental health portion of that. Usually it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? So, with people, especially clients that I've been working with today, actually, just saying that they do feel like there's such a harm done to them when they go to the hospital and, oh, we see you're an addict, rather than, oh, you're a person struggling with addiction. That's kind of the language is a big deal too. Um, so I would also say, the stigma, and these, again, they kind of go together, but I would say the stigma of harm reduction is very, very harmful to people. Um, a lot of people see it as, oh, enabling, right? We're gonna have Narcan to, keep people from dying, because they are somebody's mother, child, aunt, uncle, so I feel like the stigma of harm reduction is really important that we educate the community on, and really important, I even educate my clients on. Um, it saves lives, you know. Um, so yeah, that's just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And how can reducing stigma help save lives?
Sure. Again, the harm reduction, right? Educating people on that. So people are more likely to maybe even have Narcan on them as opposed to being against it, which definitely saves lives. Um, remembering that there's different pathways to recover. And I think sometimes, especially as a clinician, I can get hooked up on that. Like, these are the way you recover. There's smart recovery, there's AA, there's all these things. And I have to remember not to stigmatize the different pathways to recovery,
Mhm.
right? I've heard people say, oh, you're in AA, that doesn't work, and when you're in a group, I would say something like, tell me more about that, but it just takes one thing for someone to hear to be turned off and then not seek it. Um, I was thinking about some of the just the choices. It's so difficult when I hear people say addiction is a choice, because there's that word addiction again, not a person struggling with addiction, but addiction is a choice. People choose those people. That all of that is really harmful. Um, and so like getting the word out, really it's really focused on saving the lives, right? So people will reach out, especially people struggling with addiction. And then just the guilt and shame that I talked a little bit about earlier. There is so much guilt and shame around addiction already. I love what Brene Brown says. She says, guilt is I did something wrong. Shame is I am wrong. And I love that because that's how we feel and I'm also talking from the perspective, I'm in recovery as well. But talking from the perspective of how I felt in the past, how my clients report they feel. If we can get the negativity out of recovery, right, and make it a positive thing, people are more likely to stick around, for one thing. We lose so many people due to the stigma of language, the stigma of you're a bad person. No, we're sick people. We're not bad, right? Like I try to share that with my clients. Like, you are not bad. What you did is not who you are. It's simply what you did. It's a brain disorder. All those things that has that negativity. It's really important to educate anytime we have a chance. So I think education is the way to go, to teach people, like we opened a recovery house, but teaching the community members that people aren't bad, that they're not criminals, that they're not, they don't all go to jail. They don't all carry a brown bag. I mean, there's just so much that we could talk about it forever. So educating people is really important. I mean, that is how we're going to save lives, is by talking to people who don't get it. We don't know what we don't know, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
People struggling with addiction, struggling with substance use disorder have survived. I mean, they've had to survive up until the point they get into recovery, and then they're still in survival mode, and the goal is to have people finally live their lives, right? Because if people are living their lives, not just surviving, and they're recovering, then you get into the peer-to-peer, right? That's why I'm such an advocate for peer support. It's so important to have that connection. And that saves lives as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing education, changing language, peer support. These are all things that can help save lives, help somebody on their recovery journey to continue on that journey.
Correct. Yep. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've been doing this like 30 years, and I was working in the rural areas, and it's really different. Even my daughter's friend, she's in college, and they don't know anything about addiction. They don't know, they haven't been exposed to mental health. I got to remember, just because I think I know something doesn't mean someone else should know it the same way I think I know it. And I think that's important, to let each other have their opinion and then share their opinion. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Is there
Yeah.
anything else you'd like to add?
The only thing I'm thinking about right now, or one of the things I'm thinking about, is my best friend, who just celebrated 23 years sober, who went to 16 different treatment centers. And I love, just don't give up. No matter what, don't give up. Let people love you through it. And that, again, that takes you back to the connection. Connection is so important, because people in recovery will love you. That's a saying in one of the 12-step groups: let us love you till you can love yourself. And I really, really have a lot of respect for that, because it's true. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Kimberly, for sharing your views on stigma. And thank you to our viewers for watching. Speak Out on Stigma is a forum to raise awareness about the harmful impact of stigma on those in and seeking recovery. Recovery is for everyone. Together, we can eliminate stigma. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.